Dear all, it's 5 past. So I would say let's start into the session. Good to have all of you here. Usha, Ranjani, Indra. I didn't say hi to you so far, so hello.
Hi, Jana.
Starting into the consciousness session of today, the topic is conscious leadership. And as you know, I like to put a question out there to discuss with you guys. And masters and mistresses, I would say, yes, because some guys is not fully fitting, specifically today. So my question is for today that I would love to have your thoughts, ideas, sharings around this. How can a leader build a culture of we rather than a culture of me in his surrounding? What can a leader do to build a culture of we instead of building and creating a culture of me? And you can share thoughts by unmuting or writing in the chat. Totally fine if you want to raise the hand first. And also ask questions if my question that I put out there is not clear. Jana already mentions on the chat, leading by example is a way to create a culture of we instead of a culture of me. True, because the person shows that we are all in this together, and it's not only me saying for you what to do, but also me doing what I say too. Matti, yes, what thoughts are upcoming for you?
Actually, I was waiting for all others to raise up and tell. Instead of me taking the first place, I don't want it so that all others can have an idea and give an idea. And I'll also learn from them. So I was just waiting. Who will go first? Please, please. Then I think I wanted to give a conscious leadership quality. As a child, I mean, I was not a leader, I would say, but at least at home, yeah, we all need to work. I mean, it's our jobs to do the little things. Like we had 11 kinds of pets in the house, and I was the one. And as a girl child, we tend to do the homework, like housework, a lot actually. And the guys, they used to go for out and get the shopping done and so on. So something that the two things were divided. And also the cleaning part. Though we have a servant, sometimes the servant also will not be there. And if the servant is absent, then we have to take over the part of the cleaning stuff. So everybody says, you are a woman. I mean, you are a girl. So it's now the household stuff is yours. So you take over. Like I mean, I don't hate the cleaning part, but I always used to think, oh my goodness, all the shitty work I have to do. These boys, they have a nice, like happy, jolly, like going on a ride and a bicycles, going for a shopping and getting everything. Just look at that. I mean, the things in India, actually. I mean, at least in my house, I was like always wonder, I also want to go outside. And I was a young girl. It's not, I'm really, the young woman or something like that, but I was in the middle age, like 11 or 12 years. Like trying to understand the things. I mean, it's not so matured and we are not matured and we are not also kids. And it's in the middle age. And then I told my father, Dad, this is not going to work at all. Please, I'm not I am a woman. Okay, I accept and I have to do my household stuff. But why don't we change the jobs? Sometimes even I go outside and my other brothers can clean up the toilets when the servant is not there or cook in the kitchen and everything. And then, my father said, yeah, this is a good idea. Why not? We always try to change the places that it's not that one is doing only the shitty job, shitty work. Instead, we all are doing the jobs in a circulated way so that we are a team and we are a family. It's not that I'm doing the worst and they are doing the best or they're having the good thing. So that way I got up, and every time my dad called me and asked, is it okay or shall we do something else? Like that family, I became the leader.
Wow.
So if anything was coming, I mean, a little leader, I would say, not a big one, just to ask. And also when I used to get a basket full of mangoes, they asked me to distribute, and I know how to choose a mango. So then I used to cut all the mangoes. It's not that one mango I would give, but I used to cut and distribute everything so that everybody get the sweet as well as the sour mangoes. So like that, I learned it how to be a leader instead of being a boss. And I think that skill made me what I learned in the school or what I learned in the when as a child, also by using in my office and also using in my everywhere actually. Even in my group of circle, when I try to do an event or anything, my friends always come to help me out. And I'm also a good organizer here for dance and for everything. So I think that was the thing which I learned it. And yeah, that's what I wanted to share it here.
Thank you, Madhvi. I think there were lots of learnings actually in what you said. And it's really hard for me to bring the different aspects of conscious leadership you mentioned in one nutshell. I try my best, and you might help me if I get a good sum up here. So the first aspect that I heard was you stepping in for what you felt was the right thing to discuss in terms of teamwork and being a team, being a family, so that everybody does all work and that this way everybody is equal. Did I get that right?
Absolutely. So you have to delegate the work in such a way that everybody should feel that they are the part of that work.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so we have to delegate. And it's a first point, as you're right. You summarize very well, Jana. I don't need to tell, actually. So yeah, you summarized it very correctly. Then you discuss first about this, anything. As a leader, you always try to discuss along with your members. Is it a family members or anyone? Then you come up with a solution. And then you have to act as a team. There is nobody, he's like the boss here, and you are the subordinators. You are all a part of it. And you play that role. Everybody is playing the same role. So everybody feels they're leaders. Actually, instead of being subordinators, when it comes to a hierarchy, then people don't want to do it because she is just a boss and I have to do all my this shitty work. So that kind of relationship, if we have in anything, then I think it wouldn't work. So then delegating the work and understanding with the discussion, that makes it a good leader, I would say.
Beautiful.
Thank you. And it's a very good topic, actually. I was actually waiting all others to say so that I learn more from others.
I think I would love to hear the others. Let's say perception of what you said, the thoughts that come up for them from what you shared with us. What do the others think? What are the aspects that made Madhvi a leader from, or not from me because she didn't come from me, but what was it that in Madhvi's example caused or affected the we in the tasks and in the team of her family? Sumadi,
hello.
Yes. Hi.
Sorry, I'm on a motorway and I'm on hands-free, but I'm just tapping. And if you get pockets of disconnection, it's okay. I'm sorry about that. So basically, if I understand your question right, I think to be a good leader is when any accomplishment and success is has been made. It's to embrace the whole team members, although it has been your idea as a leader, if you think you're the leader, but to give the credit to the team members. So that's what makes the best leader. And also sometimes if a project or anything that's failed, to reflect and take that responsibility of the mistakes. So that's the best leadership, in my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Sumadhi. That sounds like accountability. The last thing you said is about holding oneself accountable to, not others, but oneself. Beautiful.
Yeah. And not passing the buck to somebody else. So that is the best role model that you show. In either case, so everybody shares the piece of cake or the piece of pickle, whatever it is.
Whatever it is, yeah, cake or pickle. Interesting, interesting combination. Yeah. And the other aspect that you also mentioned is bringing sharing the credits, also sharing the accountability as well as the credits. So, which is the cake and the pickle in that sense here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sumadhi.
Thank you.
Any further ideas on cake, pickles, and leadership? What makes a leader a type of leader that creates a we culture, a team culture, an inclusive culture?
So Jana, from my perspective, is the listening.
Beautiful.
Which helps with the we culture. And while we collaborate and listen, the other part, the next level for me is that the respect and the trust and the care, that brings the we. If you respect and do the trust and care for each other, then it becomes the we.
Beautiful.
While you can have processes in place, but you need to have that intent or that behavior in place.
So would you also say that listening in respect and with the intent of caring?
Yes. It's not listening because you want to say something. It's listening with the 2 ears open, with the trust.
Listening to understand and not listening to reply.
Yes, definitely.
Beautiful. There is a beautiful saying of leaders talk last and not first. That came to my mind with what you said. And actually one of the best leaders I ever met in my working with teams, with very intense sessions on strategy of this team. And it was always the team members talking and having the ideas around how to restructure and newly organize the team, how to redefine the vision. And the team leader indeed really always talked last after he had his people making their points first, which I found very impressive. Thank you, Pooja. Very important aspect. Yeah. Nice. Madhvi. Madhvi in German on the chat writes, leaders eat last. And that can also be about the cake, right? The cake that Sumaji also mentioned. That leaders eat from that cake, but they eat last from that cake. Beautiful, beautiful aspects.
Actually, there is a book about that one. like how Marine, the captain of the Marine, serves his subordinates first, and then he tries to eat at the end of, when the subordinates are not left out with the food, then he will sacrifice that as well. So leaders not only eat at the end, but also they sacrifice, but they will not show that. But the subordinates are so concerned that they also know about that the leader has not have their food, so they start collecting the little piece from the plates and they serve the leader. So this is something, a beautiful relationship, which is explained in that book, actually, that book which I wrote it in this. And it's in German. Probably we will have it in, so that's a very good book, actually, on the leadership.
Indeed, sounds really beautiful. And what you just mentioned, or what is covered in the book, in that sense of leaders eat last, also it has a huge impact as the leader shows abundance belief system instead of scarcity belief system. With this,
yes, and the same way, even the team members also believe that leader so much, they respect it in all the means, actually. Yeah, that's a very beautiful book.
Wonderful. Thank you, Madhvi. What, when we talk about conscious leadership, how conscious should a leader deal with feelings as a leader? How consciously? What are your thoughts around that? How do leadership and emotions go together? Interconnected leadership. Interesting. Could you help us a little more with more details about it? Interconnected leadership?
Yes, Jana. I've heard about this, which where they talk about the presence, like what someone said, like listening, giving your presence and feeling interconnected, and like that way connecting with the people, like feeling interconnected by presence.
So also leading from the presence, you would say, and from there being aware of the interconnectedness.
Yes, the emotions and all.
Great. I had a very beautiful discussion about leadership and emotional intelligence with my yoga teacher. And he phrased it in a way of saying, after we finished our discussion, that it seems that leaders without emotional intelligence are like monkeys having a knife in their hands.
Jana?
Yes, Sumati?
It was in my mind before you said that. I think a leader, definitely a conscious leader, would be emulating empathy and compassion.
Yes. Totally agree, Sumati. And Ranjani, interestingly enough, more or less at the same time that you unmuted yourself, wrote, leaders should have sympathy, empathy, but do not get emotional during decision-making process. So empathy was the totally common ground between what you just said, Sumati, and what Rajani wrote.
Thank you. Thank you for reading the chat.
Great. Let's dive a bit deeper into compassion, because you also mentioned the compassion, Sumati. What for you connects leadership with compassion?
In every circumstances when a decision has to be made and to evaluate what are the gains and the losses of the other person when a decision is made.
Mm-hmm.
So there should be a component of compassion, even if it's involving right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So just not an eye for an eye.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I can't really give you an example because my eyes is 90% of the motorway. So that's how I can tell you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically, yeah, it's to be fair, but at the same time to evaluate. You need to incorporate compassion, because that will also play a role in your decision making, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
makes a
I
lot of
think
sense.
that's what is happening, isn't it? Look around the world today, and again, it's what your yoga teacher said. It encapsulates the EQ,
Mm-hmm.
emotional quotient. So you can't have a rounded EQ, you know, without your empathy, sympathy, and compassion.
Yes, and it doesn't help too much if you have a lot of IQ, but your EQ is underdeveloped.
Oh my God, today is, yeah, because that's the problem, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Decades back, we only knew of IQ,
Mm-hmm.
but a well-balanced leader is a person with heights of EQ. And again, it boils back to emotional decision making, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say
so your EQ has to be well balanced.
Yeah, I would say it's emotional decision making that is totally coming from a healthy impulse control. So from a healthy ability of emotional impulse control. Maybe in the end, it's not even impulse control anymore, but letting emotions just come and go without them affecting you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what? Even if the members are perturbed or not aligning with the leader's ultimate decision, weighing the pros and cons, although they are jumping up and down, but a good leader will be able to explain and validate the reasons for making A decision and not B decision.
Mm-hmm.
So the members will be able to see the truth. And again, the leader is in a good role model by
Now we lost you.
It's putting the other, since the other parties or the Jews. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you again. Yeah, you have been lost for some moments.
It's okay, forget it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Thank you for engaging. Really, very, very valid and interesting aspects. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Any more thoughts, ideas to share around what makes a conscious leader, and how from anyone here in the group, and how a leader creates the we culture instead of a me culture?
Hi, Anna.
Hi, Ranjani.
A good leader should be able to handle criticism well too.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to giving his own suggestions and leading the group and all that, he or she should also be able to take criticism in a very balanced way. That also.
Not taking it personal, you mean, in
Exactly.
that sense?
Exactly. Like thinking of the points mentioned or whatever, if it is going to have some effect or for the good of most, even if it is something against what is being told by him or her, they should be able to handle it well for the good of the majority. That is one good quality for a leader to have.
Yeah, thank you, Ranjani. Very valid point. And for not taking something personal, a lot of times it takes consciousness, and also what was said about empathy, and also compassion. If somebody brings up criticism, a lot of times having the empathy to understand where it comes from, the compassion to see why it might have been brought up in an upset way or something, helps to not take it personal. Yes,
Yes,
beautiful.
they should have pride in their role, but at the same time, they should not have ego coming in between when it comes to final decision making. Like there should be pride
Beautiful.
definitely that they're a leader, but the ego should not get in between the process and the inputs.
Beautiful. A conscious leader is pride on the role from which he or her can serve, but is not letting the ego getting into the way of doing this job in service for the we instead of serving the me.
Yes, exactly.
Beautiful, Ranjani. Thank you.
Yeah.
Amazing. India, please mute and unmute and share with us.
Hi, Anna. I joined a little late, so I don't know if people have already mentioned, but great topic. I feel the 2 points I wanted to make. One, I don't know if everyone brought up the example of Dr. Abdul Kalam. He is from India, but there's a leadership statement that's made. He was for the Space Research Center. He was the head of, he was one of the main person there. And the statement he made was when that launch of space shuttle, there was some problem and it didn't go. So when the media comes and he comes out, like his main, whoever his boss was, he said he was a great leader because he came out and he actually said he took the ownership of the failure. He said, it's not like the team's fault and it was he took ownership. But later on, when the launch was successful, then he praised the team and said they did a great job. So that I thought was a great quality of a leader to, when taking the responsibility of failure on him and showing the team as a successful for reason for success. And the other thing I felt was all these qualities we are talking about. I feel if a leader is in the spiritual path, it'll be great because, we are talking about all these great qualities. One was I've been reading this book, 4 Agreements, the 4 being impeccable in speech and not taking anything personally and not going under assumptions and doing your best. I think those definitely are something that the leader can, it'll help being a leader.
Yes, beautiful. Very true. Very true. Thank you, India. And the example that you gave, the first example, let's say we have discussed the aspects, and I would say Sumadhi in a really beautiful way put it. You share the cake and also the pickle in terms of the cake is also where you put the team. The cake is for the team. And you, in first instance, in front of others, are the person that is caring for the pickle, which doesn't mean that you do not talk about the pickle inside of the team, right? So everybody it's fair to be accountable inside the team, but you don't you don't hold your people accountable in front of others and take yourself out of that role.
True. And that's exactly how it is. And being that impeccable thing, I think is very important because as a leader, people have to believe in what you say, and how you say and what you follow is very important, right? You can't say something, preach something and do something else, right? And I think you have to practice what you preach, and that's important.
Yes, integrity, absolutely. Walk your talk.
Yes.
And something that we mentioned in the beginning about the aspect, was the first aspect that somebody brought up in terms of do what you say. And for a we culture, it means that I also do what I want you to do or what I expect from you, and not only wanting you to do something that is not valid for me. Then it's not a we culture. Yes.
True. And one last thing is basically, I feel, leaders don't have to be like, it doesn't have to be like you're in that leadership role and you're doing that leader, kind of job. If you know what you are doing and you're confident about it, and you trust with all these qualities that we mentioned, and you trust what you're doing is right, you'll automatically be leader and people will follow. And I think so you having that absolute confidence that you're doing the right thing and you are doing it your best, and I think that is important.
Yes, beautiful what you say. And it also shows that being a leader doesn't have to do with having the official role of a team lead or something, right? Or of being the owner of a company. Leadership comes from a different place inside of us, right?
Yeah, people automatically will follow you, whatever, if you're doing the right, and if it is for the good, it'll be seen, right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful sharings. Thank you for taking the microphone, although you came in later, that you nevertheless just took the chance to share with us. That's amazing. Thank you, India.
Thank you.
Madhu, please unmute yourself too. Or is it Ram? Meanwhile, you never know who's going to answer when you ask Beam Family on Beam Meditation to answer. I see that your microphone is unmuted, but I can't hear you speaking. Now your microphone also is muted again. So the hand is still up, but I'm not sure if Madhu still wants to share something. A leader is a person who makes everyone leader. That's what Madhu writes in the chat now. How does a leader make that possible? Making everyone else a leader too. So for Madhu, Patriji is the example.
I think just like Madhu and Ram do, they're trying to make everyone a meditator. I think that's a leader. I think that's what he's trying to say too.
Beautiful that you bring it up, and yeah, very true. So Madhu and Ramesh make others leaders of their way of living, in a way. Yes, and Madhu shares the example of Patriji in that sense that he leads everyone to lead the session. Yes, he also shares, or he leads us to say, the only guru you need is your breath, right? So from there, we become leaders of our meditation too. Wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody, for engaging into the discussion. Time flew by already. 40 minutes that we discussed the aspects of conscious leadership. And therefore, I would now like to guide you into meditation. For this, make yourself comfortable in the right position for you. Maybe sitting on a chair, feet flat on the ground, maybe sitting cross-legged, maybe even laying down, whatever feels best for you. If you decided for sitting, straighten the spine a little more so that it uprights. And with the next inhalation, gently close your eyes. bring your attention towards your nostrils and focus on the sensation of your in-breath and the sensation of your out-breath for some moments. There's nothing else you have to do. Only focus on the breath. Your breath comes and goes all by itself. Every in-breath that comes with the flow. Every out-breath that goes Find the silence behind the noise. As traveling into your body with your in-breath makes you dive deep into this silence behind all noise. And traveling out of your body with the exhalation makes you surface from the silence behind all noise. With every in-breath, you dive deep in yourself, deep into the root of all silence, in the midst of who you are. With every out-breath, you surface from the source of silence. Every breath connects you more and more with this calm, pure, silent essence that knows everything without knowing. This wisdom is beyond knowledge. This silence is beyond being silent. It simply is in everything that exists. And your mind might want to break out of this circle of diving and surfacing by distracting you into thoughts. Simply notice it. Smile at your mind and bring your attention to your next in-breath for diving into your inner silence again. And surfacing from it with your next out-breath. Soothing your mind on your in-breath with diving into your inner silence. Soothing your body on your out-breath by surfacing from the silence. Nothing can stop you from connecting to your core. No thought, no noise. As long as you always know how to come back to your breath with your attention. every in-breath, you soothe your mind by diving into the silence. With every out-breath, you soothe your body by surfacing from the silence. Slowly it is time to come back from this playful dive in your ocean of silence. With your next exhalation, surface again from the silence and get fully aware of your nostrils and how they feel. Spread your attention to your nose, your cheeks, your eyes, your forehead, your jaw, and get aware of your whole face again. Spread your awareness out through your neck, down your shoulders, into your arms, your hands, your fingers, and move your fingers. Take them up in front of your face. Rub your hands gently for a moment. And lay your hands in front of your closed eyes. Let them rest there. Take a deep breath in through your nose and let it go through your mouth. Another deep breath in through your nose and let go through your mouth one more time. Come back to your normal breathing pattern. And at your own time, in your own pace, whenever you're ready, lower your hands and open your eyes again. Welcome back, and thank you for having stayed with me besides the music, which must have been way too loud on your side in between. I really appreciate that you made your way through it with me into silence.
Jana, am I audible today? No?
You are. Now
Okay,
you are,
perfect,
yes.
perfect. Okay, that's really wonderful, Jana. And as I mentioned in the chat, that you are a perfect leader because A leader is the one who deals with difficult situation with much ease. You have taken, though the music was loud, and you found a way to take us into silence, and at the same time we all enjoyed the meditation. So thank you so much, Anna, for being a great leader. Thank you.
Thanks to all of you for being here. And yes, it was a pleasure again to share with every one of you. And I personally appreciate very, very much that you stayed with me and stayed at my side, also during the difficult moments before we could settle into silence. Thanks to all of you. See you guys next week. Bye.
See you, Anna. Bye-bye. So thank you so much, friends, and we all see each other again in the morning. Till then, namaste to all. Bye-bye.